Hello and welcome back to Surviving Mars. Alright, last time we started converting this dome over to be farming specialty. This is where all of our farms currently are. I have room for one more and some more housing, but we don't have the people for it yet. I also am kind of waiting to see how our food situation turns out. So, there's that too. You. Hmm. Let's put down another storage. Let's put down a food storage here, I think. Just to try and keep our, um, which side is it that, okay, that's the side that that is on. But yeah, just to basically try and keep, can I do it right like that? We're gonna do it like that. Just to keep our drones from having to cart stuff far, which should mean that they get their work done faster. And if I leave that set to basically just the 0 it'll default to, they'll take it there, and then I think the shuttles will move them around to the other places, at least the other depots, and then possibly some other stuff get done. Should I put another depot down here with that as well? You have a setup to desire 3, so I think you're fine on the food. Um, let's bump this down so that you're only going to ask for like 300, because we're a little over 300 at the moment. You're only going to want to have 300. You don't necessarily desire to have any. Alright, so I see that they've taken it out there because you want 3 and currently have none. And you're getting moved 3-0 moved over there. Okay. But then, since it's already here, they're not taking any more out of here. Alright, that's good. So I think that'll be fine, because you don't necessarily desire any, but I think since you're the closest, that they will move the stuff there as they can. So why are you less than the 12? Why are you less than optimal? Oh, probably because of, well, no. Hmm. You guys are disillusioned. Is there a way to get rid of disillusioned? I still haven't checked that out yet. Hopefully, by the fact that stuff is getting, like slowly fixed, that I'm hoping that that means stuff will be getting better. How are you doing? We have scientists. We have scientists. We are slowly improving our research. How are you doing? You're still making drones. There's nobody left getting educated. We got 2 more drones left to make, 1 more drone left to make. Alright, so they're going to get this one, then they're going to start making bio-robots again. We actually have gotten enough resources that we can make our extra 5. So we'll go ahead and set that up to make 10. How many do you think we need of what? You think we need 12 engineers, 8 scientists, 9 officers. So you say we need 29 more people. I'm making 10. And that's just needed specializations. I think that that's not counting things like we need somebody more to be working in the space bar and things of that nature. Plus, I don't know. I don't know how this is going. I honestly don't know. Should I? How's the housing situation here? All right, you have gotten old. You're still fine. We still have plenty of housing. All right, so I should be able to put up another farm and then be able to do things like have a grocer or things like that here. Although I'm only letting botanists live in here, so who knows how that'll go. You're doing okay, right? I am letting some officers live here. How is this going? Nocturnal adaptation. You're disillusioned. How can I fix this? How can I fix this? Performance decreased by 50 at all jobs, can cause crime events when there's not enough security stations in the dome. You have a greatly increased birth rate, except that you're a biorobot, so you can't reproduce. Ah. How do I fix Renegade? How do I fix? How do I fix? Is there a way to fix? Let's take a look at our research. I know we just started some research stuff. Microgravity medicine, low G fungus. Let's go ahead and get... Ooh, these are all quite a bit. Let's see what opens up after those two go. We'll see what opens up, because we're looking for the research that lets us make the vaporators. It should tell me what it is if I look at the thing, because that's how I found out last time. Where are you, vaporator? We are looking for moisture farming. Moisture farming is what we want. It says it's biotech, so I'm going to assume that is correct. We want moisture farming as soon as it is available, because I don't want to have to bring in more prefabs from Earth. We have a lot of money though, so I could. I'm not showing any more Earth-sick colonists. I might not have any more Earthborn colonists. Let's take a quick look. Filter by traits. No, I don't want to do that. That's not what I wanted. I want to inspect residents. I would like... Quirk. Well, that's Martian-born. Is there a way to search for the ones without the Martian-born trait? Alright, let's see. See, this is unfortunately the opposite of what I want. These are all renegades. How do I fix renegades? This is also the able to work thing. I would really like to be able to... Alright, you're a renegade. So we have these two in Hoffman that are... You know what? I'm not that concerned about it. It's a non-problem at the moment, so we will just continue to let it be a non-problem. Renegades, though, I kind of wish there was a way to... Oh, you know what? Oh, you're trait auto. Is there a... No, unfortunately, we can't just throw the renegades in the sanitarium. Too bad. Too bad, so sad. We are building biorobots. You are existing biorobots. Let's just kind of... You guys are all... Yeah, you're all living here, so... Alcoholic, party animal. Really?
Research complete.
Oh, hey, microgravity medicine is done. We'll take a look in a moment. A religious robot. I'm continuously getting reminded of Futurama playing this game, you know. Alright, I don't know what I was looking for there. Right, we were going to take a quick peek here, see what got unlocked. What got unlocked? Creative Biorobotics. New building, Biorobotics Workshop. A vocation building that allows colonists to experiment with biorobots. I'm not sure what that means. I mean, I've already unlocked the biorobots. You know what? Let's queue it up. We'll do it after we finish the low G fungi, which we're not really going to use, but we'll unlock additional thing. You know, I do want to look here real quick, though. Social. I've got 2 socials that are still unknown. But we've got... I want to see if there's anything that will fix Renegade, and if it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be social. Or maybe a breakthrough, but social definitely. Like, I've already got this. I don't know. One-time grant, additional funding, emergency training. We should probably do that. Martian copyrights, repeatable. Creative disposition is the art workshop, which I don't really want to waste the resources on yet. Martian-born don't take sanity damage when working in outdome buildings. I'm going to queue you up because you're useful, but if we get the research we're waiting on, I'm going to bump it ahead. Martian festivals, decorations have increased service comfort. Alright, so if it's anywhere, it'll probably be in one of these two, unless it's a breakthrough. So, we've got one social queued up, so one of those will get unlocked eventually. That's all well and good. Like I said, I kind of wish I could see... I wish I could filter by trait and then invert, so I can see whoever doesn't have the trait. That would be particularly useful. That way I could be like, who isn't a biorobot? Who is not Martian-born? You know, things like that. Do we want to get a rocket from Earth? You know, we're still waiting on that stuff. I want to put up some more vaporators, because we're pushing the line here.
Research complete.
Oh, hey, low-G fungi. Alright. Fungi. 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 Fungus. It's fungus among us. Is this a fungus? Are you the traitor from the fungus? No, what am I doing? Looking here. What are you? Farm automation. Oh, decreases number of workers. I want you. You are useful. You are useful. I'm going to just put you in the queue though. As useful as you are, because that's gonna all that problem I've been having of like I need more food, but in order to get more food I need more people. That's gonna fix it. Mind you, I think I've fixed it already, but that'll make it so that like I'll have a bunch of unemployed people here, which will probably go work in the water reclamation center. It was listed as an upgrade, so it's not gonna just happen all at once. So I could theoretically be like, let it happen, then like drop down another farm, do it to the other one, do it to the one that I dropped down. Can't let it all get balanced out. Stupid renegades. There's got to be a way to fix renegades, right? There's got to be a way. How are you doing? You are out of work to do. Give me more biorobots. Maybe it'll be a like separate building specifically for building biorobots, so that they don't have to go here, or maybe it'll like cost less or something. I don't know. I don't know what that technology is. It actually kind of bothers me that I don't know what the technology is. Ooh, what are you? Oh, you're going to speed up research. You. Go research that. Excellent. Good, 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 because I think I wanted whatever was in the queue. I don't remember what was in the queue already. Creative biorobotics, the thing I was just talking about. Okay, you know what? Coffee. I need coffee. Ah, coffee. Take my second drink a little bit quieter. I did the first one slurpy on purpose. All right. Move my mic back into my more proper position. I keep my mic close enough to my mouth that my big bloody coffee mug, uh, you know, would bump it if I didn't move it out of the way. I have a Star Wars like Christmas mug. Like it's got a pattern on it that is reminiscent of uh the like really bad like Christmas sweaters. But it's pretty big. It's probably holds about All right, so you know those little hash marks on the side of a coffee pot that say how many cups something is that doesn't actually represent a proper mug size, but is actually just like probably it's probably just a fluid cup. Um, Filling this mug takes about 3 or 4 of those, so it's about double the size of a normal coffee mug. Let's put it that way, because a normal coffee mug takes about two, not quite two, because I think a regular coffee mug is about 12 ounces, and a cup I believe is about 8 ounces. So, trying to remember this off the top of my head. I have a chart for this. I actually have I have an infographic that I can just look at, but I don't have it here because I'm not in my kitchen.
Sector
Not
scanned.
something I need very often. People are going to be like, oh, the matrix system, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't care. I have no grasp of what that what those measurements mean. Like, the closest I get, and I've probably mentioned this in other videos, I'm almost certain I have mentioned this in other videos. I have, I know that 2.54 centimeters is an inch. That is intellectual. That is not like proper, like, I don't have a. It's kind of hard to describe what I'm talking about. I'm sure there's a word for it. I actually probably know the word for it. It's just my brain is not giving that information to me at the moment. But there's no. What is it I want to say? How do I want to say this? It's. I don't have a fundamental grasp of it. Like, I intellectually know how big it is. If I were to look at an inch, I could break it down and figure out what a centimeter is. But I do not have any sort of instinctual knowledge of how big a centimeter is. I would have to break down a inch to get close to a centimeter. Whereas an inch, I'm like, okay, I know. I'm holding my fingers apart. You can't see. I'm like, I know an inch is roughly that. Like just off the top of my head, I know how big an inch is because I grew up with it. Like, oh, intellectually, yeah, there's like 1,000 meters in a kilometer. Okay, I vaguely know that a meter is, uh, you know, slightly longer than a yard, which is 3 feet. So I know how big that is. Like, I know where a yardstick comes on me if I have it, like, based on the ground, and it comes right to my hip. That's 3 feet. I know that it's something like 3 inches plus a little more than that, so it's slightly longer than a yard. But that does not translate into anything like I can compare it to a yard and be like, it's roughly a yard. I know how big a yard is. A meter's relatively easy. But a kilometer? Okay, it's 1,000 of those. 1,000 is one of those numbers that doesn't really instinctually compute in the brain already. It's not like, oh, I can look at something and go, oh, that's 1,000. No, that number is too big. Like, you can barely comprehend 100 when you're looking at it. Like, that's just one of those limitations of the human brain. Beyond a certain point, your brain just kind of goes, many. You can count and then have that intellectual knowledge of that is how many of a thing there is. But having it as an instinctual level knowledge just doesn't work. Our brains don't work that way. Whereas a mile, okay, I have to struggle. I'm like, I know that a mile is like 5,300 some odd feet, but that doesn't matter because my brain already knows roughly how far a mile is. Like, I know that roughly a mile is the distance from the main street that is just north of me to the next major main road because that's the way the our grid is laid out. And I have actually checked using the odometer on the car. So I don't know why I've gotten onto, you know, complaining about the metric system again. It seems like I do that every so often. I will suddenly start complaining about the metric system. I don't know why. I just do. Although honestly, the one, it's not actually technically metric system. The thing I will complain about is Celsius. Celsius, I actually feel justified complaining about because it is
Meteor
not.
incoming.
It's not easier. Like there is no easier. It's like, oh, purified water freezes at 0 and it boils at 100. Okay, when am I going to need that information in my day-to-day life? And it is also technically less accurate because the degrees are larger in order to make that, I'll say artificial, but all of it's artificial. But in order to make that work, it's basically, you know, just like, all right, so there's 100 degrees between those two. Whereas uh, in Fahrenheit, you go from 32 degrees to 212 degrees. That's a difference of 180, which means that Fahrenheit degrees are almost half the size of Celsius degrees, which makes them more accurate. I know I've brought that one up in many videos. That's the one that I feel properly justified complaining about. Like from a totally like scientific, like real scientific plus real world view, that one matters. The difference between metric and
Sector
American
scanned.
standard, uh, which is different from the imperial. There's American imperial, which is American standard, and then there is the English version, which is ever so slightly different, only in a few areas, but they are different. So American standard is the proper way of saying it. Um, that is more, like I said, that's kind of an instinctual thing. Honestly, one is not better than the other, with one minor exception. American Standard could be recreated in the apocalypse, whereas metric is all based off of one existing thing, which is a mathematical calculation, which is no longer the same. The meter is based off of a specific fraction of the Earth's circumference, um, which is no longer what it was when the meter was created. The circumference of the Earth has changed, so it's not even the same anymore. Whereas the inch is based off of the width of 3 stalks of barley, which is an oddity in nature in that it grows to a consistent size or doesn't grow at all. So, as long as you had barley, which is actually a fairly decent crop in a apocalyptic situation, you could recreate the inch. Whereas that's not what I wanted. Whereas the meter is not immediately recreatable from nothing. And I say from nothing, you know, rather than from, some existing thing because, well, I suppose. I mean, yeah, yardstick, meter sticks, probably would still be around, but you'd have to have one of those specific things, whereas recreating the inch would be a matter of um, just basically using something that is also useful for other things. I don't know. It's kind of it's kind of pointless. It's kind of meaningless. But like I said, it doesn't really matter in most situations. Yeah, you can turn around and go, oh, but millimeters and micrometers and blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, those are, yeah, okay, more accurate than the inch. Sure, we use fractions of an inch. Whatever, you know. Not that big in a real world scenario. Slightly more useful in science. Here I've gone in a whole other video just complaining about the metric system because I'm waiting on things. What else is even going on here? I've used up all of those. Let's go ahead and get 5 more of those dudes. You guys are doing things. We're still waiting on research. How are we doing on time? We're almost out of time. The episode in which I complain about the metric system once again. I just kind of lump Celsius in with the metric system because it's another one of those, like, large chunks of the world use it, like the metric system, and it's not really used here. How are we doing on this? What do we even still need? What do you think we need? Scientists, engineers, officers. We're slowly working on this. How are you guys doing? You guys are all full. You guys are all full. I need to put up some more of this, don't I? No. I want the... hangover. You guys aren't complaining about working outside the dome. None of you guys are complaining about working outside your... Oh, yes, I have these two as well. Okay. I guess it is time to put up a couple more homes in here, though, since all of these are taken. What am I doing? Homes. Smart homes. BSMRT Smart. Smart homes. And let's get a arc. Whatever. We'll just put it in there. Alright, there we go. We're good on that regard. We should probably save a slot here to get some of that stuff. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Kinda, sorta. I could always rearrange a couple of things. Let's see how this goes. We've got that. Alright. So we have a couple more buildings up for if people want that. Let's take a look at our research. We haven't really unlocked these things yet. Man, that farm automation is going to be great. Oh, what am I going to title this episode? I'm almost out of time here. Oh, I spent too much time complaining about things. Heck, even the, like, stuff I was talking about the game, I'm like, I wish I could invert the search parameters on the, for the colonists. That was like me complaining. I guess it'll just be complaints. What's not working? All those things. Yeah. Alright. I'm thinking... Yeah, we're gonna wrap the episode up here. Alright, we didn't really get much done. We've just kind of been making slow, steady progress. We've been kind of putting up a couple of things. We've been doing research. But this was not a very, like, pointed production episode, you know? It's just kind of, yeah, we're doing it. It's a thing. It's happened. I guess it's fine.
Sector scanned.
That's alright. It's alright. We're gonna wrap up here. That is gonna do it for this episode. So, until next time, have a good one.